Hey guys, Doogie Fun MD here, and I'm going to show you guys how to clear the depths. So, we've just finished the Capra Demon, and if we've done that, then it's time to head off. You'll go down here, and face another hollowed thief. He dies pretty quickly. This one also dies pretty quickly. And before we press onward, it's time to make sure that we have all of our shortcuts unlocked. This one will let you get to the depths from Firelink Shrine very quickly. And just unlocking all these shortcuts is just a very handy thing to do. If you know there's a shortcut to be unlocked just because you've watched this guide or another guide or anything like that, or friends told you, it's definitely something that you want to attempt to do before you move on. So, here you can see. Unlock that. If you tried to unlock it earlier, you get a message like, it doesn't open from this side, or something like that. And that means that our shortcut is unlocked. So we'll go back down to the depths. And I won't bother cutting here because it'll only take a minute. Unless I do something stupid and like drop off that and died. I'm trying to cut time, but I didn't, so we're good. Alright, here's how you get to the depths. It's this little key right here. Or this door right here, rather. Let's use magic weapon. I think I call it enchant magic weapon because of my time playing so many tabletop RPGs where you have to have stuff enchanted or just stuff like that. It's an enchant, I guess, is how I view it, but I know that's not technically correct. And I'm sure some people cringe when they hear me say it, but that's what I do. So I'm out of Estus class right now, so I'm going to try to be super careful and not have to use any of my humanity as a healing item, which it can be used for, but generally not something you want to do if you can help it. Now here are these little butcher dudes. They're kind of mini bosses. They don't respawn, by the way. So if you kill them, he does stay dead. And he's just kind of one of the guys that you can take down with quick damage. The bleed effect from your katana is a good way to do it. Or Uchi katana, rather. I don't get the differences, but here you see a large ember, and now, visiting Andre, if you have the proper materials, you could ascend this Uchi katana from +5 to +6 and upgrade it all the way to +10. Once you get the very large ember, you'll be able to take it to +15, and if you so choose, you could use this all the way till the end of the game. It's a fine weapon. I prefer the Boulder Side Sword, but it's really up to you guys what you want to use. Boulder Side Sword's similar damage, but a bit faster. It seems to do more damage to poise, but I can't say for sure. I haven't done any real testing. And here is the next butcher. Get a little backstab on him. Get the bleed effect. And he goes down. And need a sack. Sack can be traded to Snuggly the Crow, which I'll probably show you how to do that later when you have something more worthwhile of getting from Snuggly. But it's essentially a crow in the Undead Asylum that you drop an item there, and when you come back, a different item's there instead. So you can go there, drop an item, save it, quit, and the item that's in the game's files to be traded to you ends up there in place of the old item. Now because it's in place of the old item, you can't get that old item back, so you want to make sure it's something you actually want to trade. Like one of the things that can be traded is, I think, an Ascended Pyromancer's Flame, or an Unascended Pyromancer's Flame, one or the other. If you were a Pyromancer, that's not something that you generally want to trade, and you're going to take a ton of damage from this slime. And hopefully it won't kill me. But I think it did. Yeah, it did. So if you respawn back here, I'll show you the quickest way to your shortcut. and then I'll cut to where it was in the Room of Oozes. So the quickest way to the shortcut from up here is to go down this way, and then drop through this window, kill these dudes, just keep running. And if you follow this passageway all the way back this way, you'll find where you were. Also, a fun little shortcut, since you don't have to kill the butchers to get their items. Since you already killed them, you can just do a little roll down to here. And I'll take you to the Room of These. This is kind of like, it's kind of hard to avoid getting jumped on by them unless you have light armor class. So, it's best just to enter this room with a decent health pool so that you don't have to worry about dying. Because as you can see, they do quite a bit of damage. Just over half my health, and that's what this new armor set, nothing else. Once they're on the ground, though, they don't do nearly as much, so. Looks like I'm gonna have to fight them. That sucks, because they're very resistant to physical damage. As you can see, it's pretty easy to kill them fairly quickly with Pyromancy. And they drop green and large Titanite shards. The green Titanite shards are used to ascend fire weapons and to upgrade fire weapons. And that's another reason you want to start with the Masterpiece. You can unlock this bonfire. And the large Titanite shards upgrade a weapon from +5 to +6. And from +6 all the way up to +10. And you need a Titanite chunk. So, now that we've kindled this bonfire, it's time to go on to the next mini-boss. They seem to be less likely to fall on you when you're running out from them than when you're running into them. I don't really know why that is. Probably intentional. And, as you can see, I didn't really spend any of my souls. It's not something that you have to worry about here. This next mini-boss is ridiculously easy. And we're probably going to beat him without ever actually being able to be attacked by him. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. So, we're going back around to where we were before. You can go back to the asylum early and get the rusted iron ring to make this area traverse a little bit more quickly, but it's not really necessary. And I find it better to wait until the demon will be easier to kill, because he gives 20,000 souls, which is exactly enough for a Crest of Artorias. So here's the mini-boss. It's a giant rat. But you can go from up here. And I wouldn't be doing it the easy way if we didn't. He's not a hard fight, but an easy kill's an easy kill. I'm not going to pass it up, and I'm sure most of you wouldn't want me to, or wouldn't want to yourselves. It's very important that you're very careful with your placement here. One wrong step and you can end up facing off these guys called, I'm not really sure what they're called, but most players call them curse frogs. they're frogs that can give you the systemic curse, which means you die instantly if you fall under a curse, and every time you die thereafter, well, your first death you're at half health, and then every time you die thereafter, your health pool is halved again until you break the curse. So if your health pool was like, you know, where it is now, it'll be half. The next time you die, it'll be a quarter of what it was, then an eighth of what it was, and I think an eighth is the lowest it goes down to. But that's certainly low enough, and we're going to spend our souls here before we leave. So, loading up on more endurance and vitality points. Again, we're trying to get to 30 as soon as we can, so we can start working on our more offensive skills. It's not a huge priority right now, because, as you've kind of noticed, we're blowing most things away with their damage. But it's definitely something that you'll want. And here are some rats. This is where you want to go later in the game if you want to farm humanity. And I'll probably just make a video spotlighting just that. How to farm for humanity and how to farm for souls in this game. There's a great way to do one of each. And, you know, there's multiple good ways to do things, but, like, supposedly, Prepare to Die Edition, the Abyss of Artorias area, has a very great soul farming spot. I haven't actually played the Abyss of Artorias yet, though I'm thinking about doing it in this playthrough so that I can, hopefully show you guys what works for me, and also, experience it for myself for the first time. So, I got a key right there. And we're going to try to go around and kill this sorcerer, who will make things hell for you in the next boss fight. He is right down here. Oh my, these rats are doing hella damage. Oh, they've been buffed. And I'm dead. I didn't see him buff him, so I didn't think they had been buffed yet, but it happens. These sorcerers are hard to fight because they're always surrounded by enemies, so I'll cut to when we get to him again. Alright, we're right about here at the sorcerer again. He's really easy to get back to, actually. I hadn't realized just how short of a route it was. You should one-shot the rats now, so... Or not. Better idea? Pyromancy. Speaking of which, before I leave this area, I'll have to show you guys how to unlock more pyromancies. Because it's right in this area that you'll meet a traveling pyromancer. And there we go. Now he won't bother you during the boss fight. So you can turn back. And if you turn back, I would suggest heading up to the bonfire again, and I will meet you guys there. Okay, from the bonfire, I'm going to show you guys how to get to the traveling pyromancer, whose name I can't quite remember. I know it's not Briggs, even though I keep wanting to say that, because that's the guy you rescued earlier. So you'll go up through here, around where you fought your second butcher, and turn the corner, and up in this room, here he is. And he's trapped in a barrel.
Here, oh, please, you must help.
So, to break the barrel without harming him, just roll.
I would have been eaten alive. Thank you. I'm Laurentius.
Laurentius is his name. That's what it was. You can buy some pyromancies from him. One of which, if I remember correctly, makes farming those oozes for large and green titanite shards very easy. So I'll meet you guys back at the bonfire, and then we'll take on the area boss. So from the bonfire, I'll show you guys how to get to the boss fight. You go down here, and then down again. Through the door, down to the lower levels. And then you will take a right. Got rat on me. And then, as you can see, there's nobody up there hurling sorceries at you, so that means you're good to go. Just enchant and walk through the blue light, and it's a zombie dragon. So there's that. Or I'm sorry, gaping dragon. Zombie dragons, the fight. There are actually several zombie dragons in the game, but this is not one of them. Yeah, I think one of the developers might have had some sort of Freudian issue. There appears to be a lot of things that are gaping, giant mouths and tentacles, and you know, I'm not really one to judge, but it's all over the law. Not that I'm complaining though, love the game. He can continue to have whatever issues he wants to have. So, as you can see, his attacks are pretty predictable, as long as you keep giving him a wide berth and only go in when he's not doing anything. He is a pretty tame boss fight. You can go to chop off his tail to get a giant great axe, or a dragon's great axe, rather. The only use I would have for it is to sell for souls later in the game. You unlock the option of selling your items. So I'm not too concerned about getting it, but if I do get it, you know, that's great. If not, not gonna be too hurt about it. It's a decent, great weapon, but you're going to have to have quite a bit of strength if you ever wanted to use it. I think the minimum, the requirement to two-hand it would be 35 or 34. I think 34. So quite a bit of strength to use. For one-handed, it would require 50. Took a big hit there. The Elite Knight armor keeps you pretty safe, though. And an enchanter weapon again. Do it when he's not, you know, charging at you or near you. When he's away from the fight itself. The other reason that you want to kill that sorcerer, by the way, is that he, aside from casting sorceries at you while you're down here, he can buff the damage of the dragon like he would any of his other guys that, you know, work for him. And that's definitely not a fight that you want to do. I tried it once before, it did not go well. So he's just using a stomp attack, so I go into the rear. And when he jumps up, I run away. When he goes for a tail attack, I block. With his tail gone, he's a lot harder to hit, which is one of the other reasons to try to get the tail axe. It just makes him a little bit weaker. I believe any dragon boss, an actual boss, not mini boss, because there are a couple dragon mini bosses, can have its tail cut off, and it gives you a weapon, and for most of them, it makes them lose a lot of strength from one of their attacks. So back to the corner, walk around it. Looks like he's going to try and charge, so oh no, he's vomiting. That's pretty easily dodgeable, actually. Not a huge issue. Back up for the foot attack. A stomp, I believe they call it for the attack, actually. And back up when he runs away, or when he jumps in the sky. Chain your weapon one last time. And he's thrown up again. Oh my. Oh, my Pyromancer flames at risk. That's ugly. I'll have to get that repaired after the fight. And oh my. That could have turned out very, very badly. We'll use a humanity heal up. Never be afraid to use your humanity if it's going to cost you a trip back to the bonfire and almost defeat a boss. There's just no reason for that. And that was the Gaping Dragon fight. Overall, a pretty easy fight. Next up, we're going to tackle the Asylum, revisiting the Asylum. When you guys are ready to watch that part, I'd like you to meet me at the Firelink Shrine. Note to you guys that are meeting me at the shrine, I'm keeping about 15k souls on hand so I can upgrading my Uchigatana all the way to +5, and hopefully ascending it then to +6. I'd recommend you guys do the same so that this fight's a little bit easier and you'll have a bit more damage.